This is Elisa Murphy with French Quarter Realty, and I am here today to talk mortgages with Bryce Novotny of Eustis Mortgage. Now, Bryce, what is your official title?
So I'm a loan officer with Eustis Mortgage, which means that if you need a loan to buy a home, I'm your point of contact.
Got it. So anything that's not cash, like if you're not carrying around a briefcase full of cash
Right.
or a huge wire transfer and you need anything with the word mortgage in it, you're our guy.
I'm the guy.
Awesome. Okay, so many of you are familiar with what real estate agents do. My job, if you're looking for a home, is to help you navigate the city, navigate the market, and find your perfect home. Bryce, you would say that you help people navigate the loan process, right? Is that like find your perfect loan to my home? How does that work?
Yeah, so there's so many different financing options. There's FHA loans, there's conventional loans, there's rural development loans, and so my job is to find the perfect loan for you that fits how much money you have available and the house that you're looking to buy.
Okay, so I think, Bryce, a lot of people watching this might be comfortable with the idea of what a banker does. Like everyone's got a bank account, most people have a bank account. Most people have been into a bank or at least through their phone, so they understand that concept of bank, and you can get a loan from a bank, yes?
Right, you can, and most banks are going to keep their loans within the bank as an investment for themselves. What mortgage companies do differently is that they work with many different investors that offer many different loan products. So we have more options and flexibility so that if you, let's say, only have a little bit of money for down payment, we have an investor that's looking to invest in loans on low down payment. If you have 20% down payment, we have many that'll take that, and you can maybe shop around for different interest rates. So as a mortgage company, we have more flexibility than the banks traditionally.
So you're kind of like a personal shopper.
Correct.
Exactly. Like you wouldn't come to me for just one block or one neighborhood. We cover all of Louisiana, specializing obviously in the greater New Orleans area, and we all have neighborhoods that we're most comfortable in, but you don't have one bank.
Correct.
Okay, excellent. So when you work with a loan officer at a mortgage company like Bryce, or I should say the loan company, what do you call Eustis?
We're a mortgage corporation. So
mortgage corporation, gotcha.
You have banks, you have brokers, you have mortgage companies, and they're all a little different, but they're all trying to do the same thing with the loan products they have available.
Got it. So therein lies the difference between a broker, Bryce, and a banker at your bank. That guy at the bank is going to represent just his institution, but a mortgage corporation is going to have somebody like Bryce that can personal shop for you for loans of all different types in all different places.
Within the investors that we have contracts with.
Beautiful. Okay, not any, but a broader set. Somebody wants to get started down this road. They generally start with a realtor, right?
Correct. They usually do, and then a realtor will refer them to a lender that they might be used to working with, or tell them that they need to get pre-approved.
Exactly, and that's the method that I'm most familiar with, because you guys usually come to me when you're looking for a house, and then you say, oh, how am I going to afford this house? Or I'll push for you to be pre-qualified so people take you seriously, and that's when we start to bring in somebody like Bryce, but that doesn't have to be the case.
No, it doesn't. You can actually start out with a lender getting pre-approved, and because you're going to have to do that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The realtor is going to want to know how much you could get a loan for, because that's going to affect what houses that they show you.
Absolutely. So before we waste anybody's time going and seeing houses and these other realtors and sellers get excited, let's make sure we're pre-qualified.
Yes.
At a minimum, right? So let's talk about what you need to get pre-qualified and what you need to be approved for a loan.
The mortgage process is actually very invasive. They're gonna ask for a lot of paperwork, and they're gonna ask questions that you think are just dumb, and
or highly personal.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
And so, but on the short list to get started, you need probably 2 years tax returns, 2 years of your W-2s and 1099s, pay stubs for the last month or two, and bank statements for the last month or two for the account that's holding your money that you want to use to buy the house.
Got it. So you're trying to get a holistic view of how much they earn and how much they have?
Yes, because that affects what well, their income affects how much of a house that they can qualify for. And then the bank statement's going to show how much money they're working with for down payment and closing costs.
Got it, because Bryce has to go and tell these banks that you're worth it.
Right.
And he has to be able to substantiate that. So that's why, next to maybe a very intimate medical procedure, this is about as invasive as you may be, and that's okay. So let's talk about that, though. You mentioned W-2s. For people, a lot of people in New Orleans, and increasingly in the United States, with 30% of the population working in a gig economy, a gig being something other than a 9-to-5, whether that's supplemental income, like maybe you have a 9-to-5 but you drive for Lyft or bartend on the weekends. Maybe you have an Airbnb or rent part of your house, or maybe you're full-time gigging, you're a musician, you're in the hospitality industry. What do you look at in lieu of a W-2?
So most of those you're going to end up with a 1099, or if you're self-employed, maybe not. You'll have a K-1 or whatever that you file with your taxes. At that point, typically, with some exceptions, but for the most part, you're going to average the most recent 2 years tax returns income. So whatever you're reporting on the most recent 2 years for your federal tax returns is the income that we're going to average, and that's going to be your income to buy the house.
Got it. So you look at the last 2 years tax returns, you average that, and it's the income reported. So it's going to be whatever you got taxed on.
Absolutely.
Okay, that is helpful. Keep that in mind when you're reporting your income tax, that may help you qualify or keep you from qualifying for the size of loan that you would like. What is one of the common misconceptions that you get when people are talking about mortgages and loans, even generally, not necessarily your clients?
Well, one of the common misconceptions is that you need a 20% down payment. I think for years and years, everybody thought I need 20% down payment in order to buy a house, and you actually don't. You know, there's areas on the West Bank and the North Shore that qualify for a rural development loan where you literally have to have zero down payment, that you can finance the entire thing. They have FHA loans, which allow you to buy a house for 3.5% down. Conventional loans can range from 3% down payment on up to 20, 30 if you have it. But I think that's the most common misconception, is that people don't realize how little money you need to actually buy a house.
To actually have as a down payment to buy a house. So that's important. So if you're thinking that owning a home may be out of reach for you or not within reach right now, it may be in the near future, and it can be through these differently structured products, but each one of those has a different set of parameters, right? Maybe an income qualification, etc. And that's exactly why, like using a real estate agent to find your home, you need a loan officer to help you find your loan. Right?
And fit you into the one that's going to work for you. I mean, you want a mortgage that's the right mortgage for you.
Right. You want a mortgage that allows you to get what you want, but also does so on terms that you can live with. Exactly. Thank you so much for your time, Bryce. It's been awesome chatting with you. Bryce is a great guy. I recommend him to my clients. So you can reach out to me directly to get started on the real estate process, or I can refer you to Bryce, which I'm happy to do. You have all of my contact information. Bryce, if they want to get started with you directly, what do they need to do?
Just call me, text me, email me. I'm always available, and we actually even have an app, so just give me a call. I can shoot you our phone app, and pretty much you can track your entire mortgage process on your phone anytime you want.
It's awesome. All those documents that he referenced earlier, you can just upload directly on their app. So if you are already on Instagram and you're somebody who enjoys doing everything via their phone, you can do that too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Bryce. It's been awesome.